Hello guys. Welcome to my channel, Full on Drama. Today I have brought you 6 Am I the Asshole Reddit stories. Story 1. Am I the asshole for hiring the wrong princess for my daughter's birthday? My 26 female have a daughter, Darby, who recently turned 6. Darby really likes Disney, especially the princesses. She is especially obsessed with Mulan, and her second favorite is Tiana. My husband, Colton 30 for male, and I wanted to give her an extra special party as we weren't able to last year because of a family emergency. I planned most of the party and Colton helped. He suggested we hire a party princess to play Mulan. I thought that was a wonderful idea. He was originally going to do it, but he got busy with work, so I offered to do it because I was worried we'd run out of time. I looked through multiple different combinations, and either Mulan was not offered, or in the one company here she was offered, she was more expensive than the white princesses. Tiana was offered on more but still more expensive. I noticed that the companies that would come here marked the price up for non-white characters. Those 2 princesses were not in our budget. I tried to talk to Colton about it when he got home, but he was tired and told me to just do what you think is best. So I made the executive decision to hire Aurora from a one-woman company. It isn't like we told Darby Mulan was coming, just someone special. On the day of the party, Colton was surprised it was Aurora. I told him how I tried to talk to him, but he didn't listen. Darby did mention Mulan as well as other princesses, but not because she was upset. She had a great time at her party and with Princess Aurora. Colton is really mad at me about the whole thing. So, am I the asshole? Story 2. Am I the asshole for yelling at my mom after I found out she named me after one of my stillborn cousins? Last month, I 17 male learned that my mom named me after one of my stillborn cousins. My aunt, my mom's sister, had 4 stillborn children, and her only son is the one I was named for. My aunt never got to bring a child home. I feel like I always knew she lost kids, but I never knew her son, and I shared a name. It's not a common name either. I never met another person with my name, and while I always loved having a unique name, learning the origin of it makes me so uncomfortable. As long as I can remember, my aunt has hated my mom and never wanted to be near her. I never got it. My aunt was always nice to me, but I could feel how awkward she was around me. I could never figure out why. It was weird because my whole family gave me a nickname and always called me that. The nickname was unrelated to my name, and everybody used it for me. That wasn't so weird, but I guess I did used to wonder because I remember when they hosted a party last year to celebrate me getting an award for my art. They used my nickname, which is more of a pet name, on the cake, the banner and stuff. It didn't have my first name on it at all. I was talking to my cousin before Christmas. She's my uncle's kid, and I asked her why everyone calls me by the nickname and never by my name. And she told me it was hard for them to use the name and not think of my cousin. I asked her what she meant, and she told me it was a whole drama and mom almost lost her whole family over it. Nobody thought it was kind, and our aunt was so pissed at mom. Apparently mom even told dad that was my name, and he got no real say. It made me feel so uncomfortable because every time they hear my name, they think of him, and he never got a chance to live and grow. I know naming people after dead family members is a thing, and that's fine. But an infant who was stillborn, it feels so gross to have the name. I confronted my parents, and mom told me it was no big deal and I shouldn't feel ashamed, that my aunt is the one who should be ashamed. I asked mom how she could be so insensitive to her sister. She didn't get over that. And a week ago it all kind of bubbled over, and she told me I have no right to be mad. I started yelling that she cursed me with a name that makes everyone think of a tragedy. I told her the name is more associated with him than me, and that makes sense because they lost him way too soon, and it will also make them think of his sisters who didn't live either. My mom said I had no right to yell at her, and I am just as bad as the rest of the family when they all treated her like shit for how she chose to name me. So, am I the asshole? Story 3. Am I the asshole for refusing a joint graduation party with a child? I 24 female am graduating college this year. I dropped out at 18 for financial reasons and then went to community college. I graduated during the pandemic and transferred, taking 4 years at university since I worked and went as a part-time student. I'll be attending a credential program this fall and working in child development. I am having a small graduation party in June with my friends and family at my parents' house. My mom 51 female called me and said that a family friend Amy 24 female suggested that we have a joint party because her daughter Leela is graduating from kindergarten, and said that Leela looks up to me and wants to share the party with me, and we could save money. I said absolutely not, and that my graduation party would be boring for Leela and her friends. I would have to tell my friends not to swear or talk about anything adult. and nobody would want to hear about me or my degree because everyone would be focusing on the baby. My mom told Amy no. Amy sent me a message saying that I broke Leela's heart and I'm being self-involved and jealous of a 6-year-old stealing the spotlight. Amy said that she deserves just as much recognition for raising kids and getting to this milestone as a parent, and I said she sure does and she can do that at her own celebration, not at mine. She said college isn't a big deal, get over yourself, and that I made a child cry because I wanted the attention to myself. So, am I the asshole? Story 4. Am I the asshole for favoring my son? For some context, while also keeping this brief, my 36 male first wife passed away around 7 years ago. It was extremely sudden and traumatic for all of us, but I think it affected my daughter Emma 14 female the most. She went through a period of time where she became really angry at everything and everyone, but nowadays she's become more quiet, while my son Jacob 16 male became very dedicated to schoolwork and his future. I got remarried 2 years ago to Kate 34 female, and while it took a while, she gets along with the kids well enough. And Emma especially seems to have really warmed up to her, and they spend a lot of time together. I work for most of the week and lately it's been from home, so I can't spend as much time with the kids as I would like, but I always make sure to talk to them while we're having dinner. Almost every night, Jacob will tell me about something impressive he did at school and I'll congratulate him and tell him I'm proud of him and sometimes give him extra in his allowance. Like I said, Emma is quiet and doesn't really talk much at all at dinner. On Saturday night, after a bit of coaxing from Kate, Emma told me she got to a B in her science class, which is pretty rare for her, and I told her I was happy for her. Later that same night, while I was working, she came into my office and asked if I wanted to see her creative writing project for her English class, but I told her I was busy and she could show me tomorrow. I didn't get a look at her, but as she was walking out, she said, if it was Jacob asking, you would drop everything you were doing. In the morning after the kids went to school, Kate came to me and said I needed to stop being so dense and that she was tired of having Emma come to her crying because her own father will barely pay attention to her or give her a compliment. I didn't think I was doing anything particularly harmful or neglectful, but I've been second-guessing myself and figured I would lay it out here for others to judge. Story 5. Am I the asshole for not allowing my daughter to have a friend over because her mother is overprotective? My 39 male daughter 15 female has been doing a charter school online, and because they connect kids with others locally, she made a friend there. She uses mainly the internet for communication as neither of them have phones of their own. I'm happy for her since she does not have many friends. Her friend lives about an hour out of town, but comes into town often and they hang out at the library or park. The issue is that my daughter wants to have her friend over at our house to hang out. Now normally we'd be okay with this, but my wife 36 female tells me that friend's mother will only allow it if I am not at home. This to us felt like a flag. My wife has attempted to find out if she can't talk to friend's mother, but she refuses to do so. My wife can't even find out what her name is. My wife and I decided it would be a bad idea to allow the daughter's friend over ever, even if I'm not there. This mother sounds like someone who could look for any reason to make accusations, and even if I were at work, am I supposed to avoid my own house so someone who I don't know and doesn't know me doesn't accuse me of being a predator? We have 3 other kids and we don't think it's wise to take that kind of risk. My daughter, however, thinks we are horrible and hate her for this and does not understand our concerns. Are we being unreasonable? Edit. To clarify, when I say I can't be there, I mean me, the dad. A man cannot be there while her daughter is there. Edit 2. Update to story. After some thinking and at my suggestion based on reading comments, my wife made another attempt to reach out to her. My wife explained what she was told via her daughter and wanted to find a way to work it out. So my wife invited her to dinner and she responded positively. So that's good. Hopefully we can work all this out for my daughter's sake. Story 6. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she is being selfish and that she needs to take an Uber since I am not leaving her older brother's wedding? This has been a built-up issue. My son got married this weekend and this issue isn't dying, so I am going here. My daughter has very bad anxiety. She is 19 and I will call her Shelly. Shelly used to go to therapy when she was a minor but stopped when she turned 18. Ever since her anxiety has been out of control, and due to this she won't drive anymore. She has a license but refuses to drive. We live in the USA and driving is basically needed, or it's a big inconvenience for the people around her. Also, she is an adult, so it's not like we can force her to drive. This is the issue. My son was getting married and she was uncomfortable with so many people around at his wedding. She asked me to take her home. I told her no, and if she having difficulties please wait in the car. She told me it's freezing outside and she needs to leave. I told her no again, turn on the heat in the car and wait if she needs to be away from people. She don't like this answer and told me she will have an attack if she stays and she needs to go home. I told her to take an Uber then. I am not leaving. She doesn't like this and this was turning into a full argument. Shelly told me I need take her home again and I had enough. I told Shelly she is being selfish, that she has many opinions and I will not deprive her brother, my son, of his parents being at his weddings. If I took her home, I would miss his wedding since it was our drive here. She called me a jerk and left to stay in the car for a bit. She was back about an hour later for the rest of the wedding. She has been pissed since and her younger brother is copying her. So, am I the asshole? Thanks for watching. Comment down your verdict. Subscribe for more such videos every other day.